Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Figures of Sport podcast. Welcome to episode 88 of the Figures of Sport podcast. Guys, we've got a good one. The NFL season is coming to an end. The regular season for the NFL is coming to an end very, very shortly. But the content isn't going to stop. We're going to keep going. You know that we've got you with Week 18 stuff here in this episode. We're going to recap Week 18 next week. We've got the NFL playoffs. We're going all the way through the Super Bowl. Man, we are so excited. Just because the regular season is coming to an end doesn't mean that the content for NFL stuff is going to end at all. So we've still got a lot of time to discuss the NFL, and we are going to enjoy every single second of it, guys. So make sure that you guys stick with us throughout all of that because, like I said, we've got so much more to talk about. Now, first and foremost, everybody, you know I gotta ask you guys to do me the huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with 5 of your friends, family members, or coworkers, whoever it is. Let them know what you know. Let them in on the sauce. Share this podcast with them because, again, we are so close to hitting that 100 subscriber mark, guys. I think we're about 10 subscribers away. So do us a huge favor. Share this with your friends, family, coworkers, cousins. It doesn't matter who. Just share it, and it would mean a lot to us. And like I said, hopefully, if you guys can get it done sooner rather than later, maybe we have a little giveaway for you guys, picking from the 100 subscribers to give maybe a little gift to, or possibly invite you on the podcast and hear some of your thoughts as well. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to give you guys a quick recap of all of the things that we are going to be talking about today. We've got some NBA stuff to talk about. We've got a whole lot of NFL action to talk about. And George will be joining us back on the podcast this week. So it is going to be a fun one as always. So let's jump straight in. And the first thing I want to talk about is the NBA. So there is something that I really wanted to highlight because it is some pretty big news for the NBA. Nikola Jokic is going to be sidelined for quite some time. He's going to be sidelined for at least 4 weeks. He suffered a hyperextended knee in a loss to the Miami Heat yesterday, Monday night. So luckily, that's all it is. Initial reports were that they feared it could be a lot worse, but it comes out it's just a hyperextension. So Jokic will be away from the team for a few weeks, at least 4 weeks, possibly longer. You want to make sure that your superstar player is fully healthy before he comes back. You don't want to risk any re-injury to that left knee. So prayers up to Nikola Jokic. Obviously, Jokic has been absolutely incredible this season, as he always is, but you just never like to see it when a guy goes down, especially a guy of his caliber, such a star player in the NBA. You never want to see that. So shout out to Nikola Jokic. Prayers up for you, and hopefully we can see you back on the court soon. Next up, I wanted to recap the Christmas games from the NBA because we talked a lot about that in last week's episode. We previewed some of those games, made some predictions, and just had a few things to talk about, highlighting these 5 games. So the first game of the day was the New York Knicks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Knicks pulled off one of the biggest fourth quarter comebacks of the season, rallying down from 17 in the fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson led the way with 34 points, including the go-ahead three-pointer with about a minute left. And Donovan Mitchell did his thing to try to keep the Cavs, afloat. He scored 34 points himself, but it wasn't enough. The Knicks were able to pull off that crazy comeback, and they were able to pull out the dub 126-124. Hell of a game on Christmas Day. Absolutely loved watching that. That was a great day to start. A great way to start your Christmas as an NBA fan. So that was great to see. The second game of the day was a shocker. If I'm not mistaken, I picked the Oklahoma City Thunder to win this game, but I was wrong. The San Antonio Spurs once again beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, this time by 15. The Spurs are – it seems like the Spurs are the kryptonite to the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder started the season out 26-2, and they are 0-3 against the San Antonio Spurs. So 5 total losses this season, 3 of them coming to the Spurs, raises some questions if that team really is the kryptonite. So I'll have a question for you guys a little bit later regarding the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Spurs, but that one was a shocker. Definitely did not expect the Thunder to lose that game, especially after seeing the Spurs so recently, I think just a couple of days before that Christmas Day game. Great game, though, to watch, I'll tell you that. The third game of the day, we had the Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks. The Warriors won that game 126 to 116, and it actually marked the very first Christmas Day game for rookie sensation Cooper Flagg, and it was a sentimental reunion. Klay Thompson obviously going back to face his old team, Golden State. Yes, he's played them obviously last season, but it's always a big deal when Klay goes back to Golden State and is able to lace him up back at his old home. Next up, we've got to talk about the Houston Rockets and the Los Angeles Lakers, because this was a dominant effort from the Rockets from the tip. And I mean, it was crazy. Amen Thompson led the way with 26 points. Kevin Durant had 25. LeBron James played in his 20th career Christmas Day game, but just couldn't keep, the Lakers close enough with this young Rockets team. One thing I got to say is Luka Doncic was tasked with guarding Amen Thompson on that Christmas Day game. And we all know that Luka obviously isn't known for his defense, and Amen Thompson isn't known for his shooting, but it just seemed like when I was watching that game, Luka was giving him so much space that, of course, it's like if you give me that much space that many times throughout the game, I can make a couple of shots. I'm still in the NBA. You got to respect me a little bit, right? Luka didn't do that. So he took full advantage, dropping 26 points on Christmas, and the Rockets were able to pull that one away, 119-96. If I'm not mistaken, too, the Lakers got some question marks. JJ Redick, their head coach, came out and said very recently that, since LeBron came back, that they've had too many empty possessions on the court. So that may not necessarily be a shot to LeBron, but it is definitely a shot to the Lakers offense. They're not getting much production right now, and it just seems like the ball goes to Luka, to LeBron, or to Austin Reeves, and that's really it. There's not a lot of flow to that offense, and they're going to have to pick it up because Austin Reeves will be out for quite some time. I believe he's dealing with a calf injury, so he's going to be out for a couple weeks, and they're going to have to get it together. LeBron's going to have to step up. Luka's going to have to step up, and you're going to have to see this Lakers team do some things. JJ Redick was pissed, man. He was super pissed off. They're not a great defensive team, which is kind of crazy because last year, once they kind of acquired Luka, they didn't become necessarily, I'm not going to say a dominant defense, but they were at least very competitive on the defensive end, making up for some of their lack of size or lack of defensive tenacity. So that is just something that we are going to have to keep an eye on going forward if this Lakers team can start to make some changes defensively and start to have an impact on that end as well. But we're going to move on to the last game of Christmas. This was arguably the best game of the day. We had an overtime thriller between the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I know I say this might be the game of the day, but this might be one of the games of the year, to be completely honest with you. Jokic, I said it earlier when I talked about his injury. He's the guy is just so good at basketball, and sometimes you just think, is he even trying? But he definitely was trying on Christmas Day, I'll tell you that. And shout out to him for getting a haircut right after the game before his press conference. That was pretty funny to see. Middle of the game, you see him with no cut. Post-game press conference, he has a fresh fade. So he definitely wanted to look good for the cameras at the end of the day. So, but yeah, Jokic had an incredible performance, 56 points, 16 rebounds, 15 assists, one of the greatest Christmas Day stat lines ever. I believe he also set the record for the most points in an overtime period with, I believe it was 18 points in that overtime period by himself. Anthony Edwards had himself a day as well. He dropped 44 points. He hit a wild fading 3-point shot to force overtime. And, Eventually, though, he was ejected late in that overtime period, kind of when it already seemed like the Nuggets were going to pull that dub out. But overall, man, great Christmas day for the NBA. We had a couple of blowout games, but overall, some really good performances that we got to see. And the NBA has said that Christmas is their holiday. Obviously, the NFL has Thanksgiving, but with some of these blowouts and some of these lackluster performances, the NBA has to step it up a little bit. So right now, it's looking like the NFL got them. So hopefully next year the NBA can have some really good matchups again, and hopefully we see some competitive basketball again next year, and hopefully the NBA could take Christmas Day back. So, but now, as I had mentioned earlier, guys, I have a couple of questions for you, the viewers here. So whether it's here on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is, I would love to hear your thoughts on some of these questions that I've just been thinking about myself. So one of the questions I have for you is, after beating OKC 3 times this season, do you believe that the Spurs are true contenders this year, or do they just match up really well against the Thunder? I know they are currently the 2nd seed in the Western Conference, and everyone thinks that the Thunder are going to run away with it, especially with now, Jokic missing some time. The Nuggets could possibly drop. But do you think that the Spurs are true contenders this season? Let me know in the comments below. And the next question I have for you guys is for the Eastern Conference now. Obviously, we see that the Detroit Pistons are the top seed in the East. They're fighting off the New York Knicks at the 2 spot and the surprising Boston Celtics at number 3 without Jason Tatum. But Cade Cunningham has been a star. And my question to you is Cade Cunningham a top 3 MVP candidate, or is his success more of a reflection of a weakened Eastern Conference? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think on that one as well. And lastly, obviously, we know that a couple of years ago, the NBA implemented a rule that that limits players from winning awards if they miss time. So obviously, it's the 65-game rule. You got to play 65 games to be considered for some of these awards. And Jokic obviously was an MVP contender, and with him being out for at least 4 weeks, possibly longer, the cap that he can probably play is 64 games. That's, like I said, if he comes back in a timely manner. Do you think that should put an asterisk on something like the MVP award if he's not even able to be considered with some of the things that he does on the basketball court? Let me know what you guys think there. I would love to hear your thoughts on that one. That one I'm really excited to hear your guys' thoughts for, actually. That's my question of the day for you guys. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump straight in, and we're going to welcome back George to the podcast. George, welcome back to the pod.
Thank you.
Very, very good to have you back, man. And we've got a good one for you. We've got a lot of good questions. We've got a lot of talk, football talk for you. We got, obviously, we had a hell of a week 17. We're closing in on week 18, man.
I know, it's going too fast.
It's crazy. But like I said earlier in the pod, we still got a lot of football left. We still got at least another month of football left. So we're going to make the best of it, and we're still going to get these guys some good content, right?
Yep.
So the first thing I do want to talk about, obviously, is the Chicago Bears. And let me start off by saying, for those of you who didn't watch, this was one of the best games of the season, not just for the Bears, but in the NFL, in my personal opinion. We had an absolute shootout on Sunday Night Football. Final score was 42-38. The San Francisco 49ers won that game. But it was a hell of a game, man. I really, really enjoyed this game from the jump. I mean, you got a pick six to start the game off for the Chicago Bears, and then just nothing but offense, because absolutely zero defense was played in this game. Let me tell you that. So, but George, what are your thoughts on this Bears game and their performance in Week 17 against the 49ers?
I got a lot of good and a lot of bad. I like to see the offense humming. You know, they're moving. Caleb is I feel like they're letting him loose a little bit more with the deep throws and stuff like that. There are a lot of, I'm surprised we didn't actually have a lot more run plays, because the Niners have been kind of a team where you could run on a little bit. They weren't like a huge run stop defense. They were like, I think, league average at stopping the run, if that. But they were able to actually stop us quite a bit during our run plays, which kind of surprised me with how well we've been running the ball. Passing wise, there was a couple of throws that Caleb could have hit. There was one to Loveland towards the sideline that I think he should have hit. The one to Duvernay at the fourth quarter that I understand he was rolling back right. He's rolling back off his back foot, two defenders in front of him, pressuring him that close. Tough throw to make, but Caleb is known to make tough throws like that sometimes. Do I think he could have hit it if he tried that again? Yes. Did he do it in that situation? No. I'm not going to fault him for that. It was a tough throw. Just because someone can make tough throws doesn't mean it's always guaranteed. It was a tough throw. A lot of bad that I have those from that defense. I mean, I said it last week that Green Bay, they were putting it on us at home. Like Malik Willis was hitting his throws. They were running all over us, gashing us. The one thing that we had going for us that game was 0 for 5 in the red zone. This game was just absurd. You start the game off with a pick six, which was huge. You swing the momentum your way already. You won the toss. You deferred the kick. So you get ball second half, and then the first play you put up points from your defense. So it's like you didn't even start with the ball, and you already start with 7-point lead. That was huge. And then after that, our defense just couldn't do anything at all. We were talking about how Nashawn Wright possibly got snubbed for the Pro Bowl because he leads the league in takeaways. This game just showed that he doesn't belong there. Yeah, I think he gave up 260 yards during that whole game. Abysmal.
It seems like they were targeting him sometimes.
It was abysmal. It was abysmal performance from the whole defense. Our D-line couldn't apply pressure. As soon as I saw that Trent Williams was out, I was like, okay, maybe our D-line can get to Purdy, make him feel uncomfortable. This was the second longest time Purdy had to throw in his career. This game, he had the second longest time to throw in his whole career. And they had two of their best blockers not in the game. Trent Williams and George Kittle. It was absurd.
It was he ran all absurd. Over him.
Our D-line is garbage. Our whole defense, they're so highly what's the word I'm looking for? Like they're just looking for takeovers. That's it. That's the only thing they have going for them.
They're very dependent on takeaways. We can't
apply pressure. We couldn't apply pressure. Austin Booker did an okay job applying pressure some of those plays, but it's just not enough. You can't get home with 4, and then when you send more, you get cooked anyways because you can't play man. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. One of the big things that the Bears need to do is either trade, and every Bears fan's dream right now is either getting Garrett or Crosby in this offseason in a trade. But if you can't, everything in the draft needs to be defense. Everything, because this is getting bad. This is not a playoff defense. If it continue this way, it's gonna be bad for us that first round. We can hang in a shootout.
Yeah, and listen, the only thing I'll say in regards to the defense is that you were facing one of the hottest teams in the NFL, right? The 49ers have been rolling over the last few weeks, so I understand that. So that's kind of like the only grace I'll give this defense is that you are facing one of the hottest offenses in football right now. But at the end of the day, I mean, it just seems like they couldn't. I mean, George, they could have put you and me out on the field for the 49ers, and they wouldn't be able to stop us.
It was bad. I mean, Dennis Allen has been a proven defensive play caller in the league, so I'll give him credit. But Kyle Shanahan is probably the best offensive mind in football, so I get it. But there was plays where guys were just wide open. No one within 5 yards of them.
I mean, the middle of the field,
it was just open all day.
I mean, Ricky Pearsall, the last few weeks since he's came back from injury, I don't think he's had a game over 25 yards receiving. And he torched us over the middle of the field this whole entire game. Nashawn Wright was getting targeted left and right. There was multiple plays, especially towards the sidelines, that I remember vividly. There's 4 or 5 guys in that area, and no one could tackle.
I mean, our D-line made Brock Purdy. I get Brock Purdy is not like he's not Phillip Rivers, but they were making him look like Lamar out there.
Like he was able to run. He was able to throw.
He was avoiding everything.
Yeah, like it was very frustrating because again, it's like that you have a proven defensive play caller in Dennis Allen, but he looked like the lights were too bright for him in this game. Like they couldn't do anything. I believe this is the third time that the Bears have gotten 40 points hung up on them this season. But I mean, I guess, listen, at the end of the day, that is something that I am very worried about going into the playoffs, because this is a game that happens in the beginning of the season. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't happen in week 17. This shouldn't happen in week 17 where you're getting 40 points scored on you, and you got guys healthy for the most part. Like all season long, we've always said our defense has been lackluster because of the fact that we haven't had everybody healthy. I mean, this game, the only person who really was an impact player that you're probably missing on this defense is Kyler Gordon at this point. But you got back Tremaine Edmonds, you got back TJ Edwards, you have Jalen Johnson, you got Tyreek Stevenson, you got Nishan. Like everybody is there that you kind of say, hey, we've been waiting for all these guys to get healthy. They're there outside of Kyler Gordon, and he still couldn't stop anybody. So it's a little worrisome. I just hope that in week 18 and then going into the playoffs, we can clean that up a little bit, because it's not going to be easy to try to win a shootout every game, especially if you got to play a team like Seattle, who has a good defense and can put up points. The Rams, who can put up points and have a solid defense as well. We'll talk about them in a little bit later.
Yeah.
But, overall, the biggest bright side to this game, I'm not really too upset as a Bears fan, right? The defense is abysmal. We kind of know that already, obviously. But seeing the offense as explosive as it was incredible. Caleb looked incredible that entire game. He missed a couple of throws here and there, yes. But what are you going to do? You can't ever be perfect at the quarterback position, right? There's always going to be some type of critique at the end of the day. But he played excellent. This was, in my opinion, the best game he's had. Just looking, very, very involved in the offense, flowing, creating plays, dropping dimes. I mean, and also one thing I got to highlight is it is so nice to have a quarterback now that can take advantage of a free play. It's amazing. Like the two throws he made on those two free plays were incredible.
I think he made one free play.
I think it was two. I could be wrong, but
no, it's just the one to Loveland.
Well, then that one too. No, I thought the touchdown to Burden, wasn't that a free
No, that
play?
was just a regular play.
Okay. Well, then yeah, the one to Loveland, that was a great play. And listen, one thing, Bears fans, you guys got to be excited about: Luther Burden and Colston Loveland are going to be a problem in this league going forward. A lot of people were questioning the Bears' decision to draft Loveland over Tyler Warren, early this season. But Colston Loveland has excelled in his role. The two tight end look for the Bears is working with Loveland and Kmet. Burden is going to be a star.
Thank God he avoided a major injury at the end of the game.
Yes,
I thought it was bad. He got carted off, and then they said it wasn't too serious. It was a quad injury.
Yeah.
He was basically saying that he was just really exhausted after the game.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
He was doing the post-game interview by himself, so he was good.
I mean, look, the Niners, they're ballers, dude. They're ballers. I mean, they
injured or not,
they don't have IU. They didn't have Kittle. They didn't have Trent Williams. Their whole defense is out, and they were just like, yeah, their defense has holes in it, like bad holes. But I mean, that offense is just humming. Purdy back-to-back games with 5+ touchdowns.
Yeah,
I think the only player to do that in history to have 5+ touchdowns in back-to-back games, he's balling right now. He's balling.
Yeah, but
McCaffrey, I mean, what McCaffrey? He's like their workhorse. I think he had like 27 touches that game. I mean, it's
if you saw him, he was exhausted on the sidelines.
He was exhausted. It's either going to be him or JSN for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
I don't think you can go wrong with either one. The only, I think the thing that can make me lean on McCaffrey's case is that he was their whole team basically this year.
Yeah,
through all the injuries and everything.
Kittle's missed a lot of time. Pearsall's missed a lot of time. So, and
Kittle's missed time. Purdy's missed some time, and it was all. Yeah. It was basically all just McCaffrey.
Yeah, and McCaffrey, he's close to putting up 1,000 receiving, 1,000 rushing yards.
Does he need like another 130 receiving yards this next game to hit that?
Something like that. So, and to be quite honest with you, if I'm not mistaken, based on what they said on Sunday Night Football, only 3 players are in that group, and he's already one of them. But he would be the first person to do it twice. So CMC is a dog, man. I mean, again, hats off to the Niners for that. But again, a lot of bright spots for the Bears on offense. The defense, clean that up, man.
Yeah.
Please clean that up before we get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I feel confident in Chicago, but at the end of the day, that
Yeah, I
defense,
mean, with the weather that's going to be in January, the Bears are guaranteed a home game. So with the weather that's going to be in January, it's going to be tough to
but
have a
we've seen
passing
Caleb.
game like the
But we've
Niners
seen
had.
Caleb have some success in cold games. We saw that
Yeah,
Browns
but
game. They were,
it's definitely gonna be tough
you know,
to throw the ball in
yeah,
Chicago with that wind there on the lakefront, that cold. It's definitely gonna be a lot of defense and running.
yeah. So we got to
Um,
step it up.
but Caleb showed in that last game against Green Bay, in that game against the Browns, in that game against the Giants that he can throw in cold weather with wind. So that's good to have on our side.
Yeah,
But again, defense has got to make plays in order for you to keep in it. Turnovers are nice, but it doesn't matter if you consistently give them scoring drives when you can't get the turnovers. You got to. I mean, I did think that it was kind of nice that we forced them to punt twice. A team that hasn't punted since November, they punted twice, but it
yeah,
still wasn't enough.
yeah.
What are you gonna do? I mean, it, it was a good team. I thought we were gonna win. Obviously, came down to the last play again. 4 seconds left. I mean, I just find it weird how they only rushed two there, and there was still a free rusher at the end.
Yeah, it was
I don't
a
understand that.
yeah. It was it's like the line was holding up as much as they possibly could all game long, and then the last play, the most crucial
Like
play of the game.
they only rushed two of their
Yeah,
four D linemen,
yeah,
and one still got through. It was a
yeah,
free rusher. He got to
yeah.
get there was no blocking there for him.
I, I don't understand that at all. But again, not a terrible loss. I'm not super upset. Great showing by the offense. Just clean up that defense a little bit, and we should be fine.
Yeah.
But we move on. Next thing I want to talk about is some of the top storylines heading into Week 18. George, we got some good matchups this week, man. So first thing I want to highlight is we have a three-way race for the AFC's number one seed between Denver, New England, and Jacksonville. We obviously did not expect that one. We kind of thought it was going to be a two-man race between Denver and New England, but Jacksonville has snuck their way into true number one seed contention. They're 12-4, so they would need a Patriots loss and a Denver loss to secure the one seed. But we'll kind of see, but that's a very exciting race right there. Jacksonville is kind of, I mean, I know they started off really well, had a good defense early on in the season, kind of fizzled out a little bit in the middle of the year. Had a couple dud weeks, had a couple weeks where they just didn't look like they were going to be a great team. But over the last 7 or 8 weeks, man, they've looked incredible. So that should be a fun one to keep an eye on this weekend. Then also on Saturday night, we have a potential NFC Championship preview. The winner of this game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seahawks gets the number one spot in the NFC. Obviously, you highlighted it last week. If the Niners are able to secure that dub, then they have home field advantage through the Super Bowl, which is crazy. I think you also brought this up where when Tampa played in 2020, they didn't even have home field advantage through the Super Bowl. They had the home field advantage in the Super Bowl, but not through the Super Bowl. So this will be a huge game for the Niners if they can pull this off, because they already beat the Seahawks once this season. So this is going to be a good one. I'm super excited for that Saturday night game. And then we on Sunday night we have a win and in situation in the AFC North, a battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. So that one should be a good one as well. Next up, Drake May is closing in on his MVP after a 5-touchdown performance from
I don't think
him.
he's closing in. I think he's
Oh
secured.
yeah,
I
my
think
bad.
he basically secured it after that.
Yeah,
Five touchdowns. He went
is.
19 for 21, over 250, 5 touchdowns. Yeah, it was against the Jets, but who gives a fuck? He still did it. And then Stafford basically flooded.
Yeah, Stafford had a terrible game that on Monday Night
Three
Football. So that was
interceptions. They lost 3 interceptions. One was a pick six. Another one was almost a pick six. Yeah, no, he. I think that game was that I think this week was the deciding factor, basically.
Yeah, 100%.
Unless somehow like Drake May, if they play this last week, like he has a substantial flood game against Miami and
Yeah,
Stafford throws like 5 touchdowns, no picks.
yeah. Basically,
It might swing it back
basically,
into
yeah,
Stafford's
they
favor. But
basically have to swap week 17 and 18 performances. Like if Stafford does what May did and May does what Stafford did, it's yeah. But other than that, it's pretty much Drake May's MVP at this point. And then lastly, one of the biggest storylines heading into week 18 as well is that the Carolina Panthers have an opportunity to clinch their first playoff berth since 2017. And they could do it a couple of ways. Obviously, a win on Saturday against the Bucks is the easy way. But if they lose, they have to hope that the Falcons win, and then they will get in. So that will be something to keep your eye on this weekend. It'll be interesting. That's for sure. The Bucks have been absolutely terrible the second half of the season. It's actually embarrassing.
the last 2 months,
Yeah, like I think they started out 6-2,
5-1.
like 5-1, and then just since then, I mean, for you to go from 5-1 to now sitting at 7-9, you went 2-8 in your last 10 games. It's embarrassing. I know you mentioned that last week, if they lost to the Dolphins, that Todd Bowles should be fired after that game. Obviously, he wasn't. But I think this is his last. This is his last
Obviously, if they lose this game,
he's out. He's out.
He's done.
And I'll be completely honest with you. Even if they were to win and get in the playoffs, they're not a team that I'm very scared of.
And here's the funny part about that, right? Even if they won and got in the playoffs, their first round exits. Carolina gets in the playoffs. I think their first round exit. I think the best team in that division right now is the Saints.
I mean,
I think Shuck is the best quarterback right now in that division.
I
think the Saints are humming right now.
Yeah, and it's crazy because at one point we thought the Saints were going to go 0-16 this season.
Yeah,
or 17.
Hey, can you imagine if they started Shuck in the beginning of the season, first game?
Yeah,
he might have needed some time to but maybe after week 3 or 4, they probably could be in playoff contention. I don't know who the favorite is right now. Maybe it's Tet McMillan, but offensive rookie of the year. How far is Tyler Shuck off that list?
Yeah, that would be interesting to see, because honestly, he's. I mean, think about this: the Bucks are 7-9, the Falcons are 7-9, the Panthers are 8-8, the Saints are 6-10, and they didn't start Shuck until later on in the year. So we could have had a true 3-headed, maybe even 4-headed race if the Falcons had won some of those games that they should have early on in the season. But I mean, it's going to be an exciting week 18, that's for sure, with all of the situational matchups that we've got going on. That is for sure. So very excited for this upcoming week. And we obviously are going to recap all of that stuff next week. And we're also going to bring back the playoff bracket that we kind of introduced a couple of weeks ago, a couple of episodes ago, because obviously at this point, everything will be finalized. Seeding, who's facing who in the playoffs, where, all that stuff. So we will get down to that next week. So be ready for that. Now, George, next thing I wanted to highlight is, our ongoing head-to-head little matchup this season. The overall records, the overall prediction record here, I've got it. So overall, I have a lead of my record is 126, 68 and 1. I had a really bad week this week. You are 115, 79 and 1. So I have an 11 game lead on you. So it's going to be super, super tough unless I completely just go absolutely left with all of my picks. You went 8-8 for week 17. I went 7-9 for week 17. So again, only way you can come back this, to end this season is if I
outscore you by 12.
Yeah, basically.
Good thing every team is playing.
Yeah, you got a chance, right?
There's a shot. So, like a 1% chance? I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. So that'll be fun though. But Speaking of predictions, we're going to jump straight in and we're going to make our Week 18 predictions. So, George, you know how we do it, quick and easy. Let's get right to it. First things first, Saturday, we've got the Bucks and the Panthers. Give me the Panthers to win this one.
I'll take the Bucks.
All
I
right.
don't know why. I don't know why that Niners Seahawks game for first in the NFC is a Saturday night game and not Sunday night.
I kind of wish it was Sunday night too, but what are you going to do? But speaking of that game, Saturday night football, we got the Seahawks and the Niners. Who you got?
No, buddy.
All right.
I have to catch up to you, so I have to go opposite of you.
All right. That game, if I'm not mistaken, is in San Fran. Give me the Niners.
I'll take Seattle.
All right. Sunday, we've got Green Bay and the Vikings. Give me Green Bay.
I'll take the Vikings. I think they're gonna sit Malik Willis and Love, and then what's that guy's name? Clayton Tune is in, but
Yeah.
defense is just gonna. I think they're sitting all their starters this week to get everyone healthy.
Yeah.
Give me the Vikings.
All right. Browns and Bengals. Give me the Bengals.
Yeah, give me the Bengals.
Texans and Colts. Give me the Texans.
Yeah.
All right. Colts. Sorry, not Colts. Cowboys and Giants. Give me the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Saints and Falcons. Give me the Saints.
I'll take the Falcons.
Jags and Titans. Give me the Jags.
Give me the Titans.
All right. Broncos and Chargers. No Justin Herbert. Give me the Broncos.
Give me Broncos.
Raiders and Chiefs. I think the Raiders are in a tankathon at this point. Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'll take. I'll take the Chiefs.
All right. Eagles and Commanders. I believe the Eagles are going to sit some of their starters, so give me the Commanders.
Is Mariota playing?
I'm not sure. I don't think it's been confirmed yet.
Give me the Eagles.
All right. Jets and Bills. Give me.
No, I don't think they're going to sit their starters. Yeah, give me the Eagles, because if they win and we lose, they get the 2 seed. They're playing for something. Yeah, give me the Eagles.
Sirianni said they're resting some of their starters.
Some, but not all. Give me the Eagles.
All right. Bills and Jets. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, Bills.
Patriots and Dolphins. Give me the Patriots.
Give me Quinn Ewers.
Okay. Rams and Cardinals. Give me the Rams.
Yeah.
Bears and Lions. Give me the Bears.
Bears.
And then to end it all, Sunday Night Football. We got no Monday football this week. Sunday Night Football, we got the Steelers and the Ravens to win the AFC North. I don't know if Lamar is going to be playing in this game, but if he is, give me the Ravens. If he's not, give me the Steelers.
You don't think Malik Willis and Henry can beat the Steelers after what they just did to Green Bay? And how the Steelers just lost to the Browns?
I don't know, man.
Malik Willis, Tyler Huntley?
I don't know. I mean, it's tough. It's a divisional game. You know, those games are always played differently.
The Steelers.
All right. Okay. So those are our Week 18 predictions. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, George, we've got the Power 5. This week is going to look very, very different. So let's get right to it. So this week, the Power 5, we've got number 1, we've got the Seattle Seahawks. Number 2, we've got the New England Patriots. Oh, wow, what a spelling error by me. Number 3 is the Jaguars. Number 4 is the 49ers. And number 5 is the Broncos. So let me give you guys a little bit of insight on why I put this list in this order. So obviously the Seahawks at 1. They're the best team in the NFC right now. And, you know, they just keep winning. So it's hard to go against them. The Patriots, the reason they're not number 1 in my eyes is because they just beat up on the Jets. Not a good team, obviously, that we've seen that all season long. So that's my reasoning there. The Jaguars are number 3 because of the fact that, 1, last week or 2 weeks ago, they just beat up on the Denver Broncos. And 2, because you win another game. This one was on the road in Indy. Yes, I understand that there was no, they weren't fully healthy, the Colts. But listen, you play who's in front of you, right? So they're continuing to win. If I'm not mistaken, the Jaguars have now officially won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row. And honestly, should have been 7 had they not collapsed against the Texans, in early November. but they've won 6 in a row, and they are firing on all cylinders right now. The 49ers at 4 for me because of the fact that obviously they are rolling, injured or not, they're still producing offensively. And at 5, I put the Broncos at 5 because of the fact that one, 2 weeks ago you got blown out by the Jaguars, and then two, you face a team in the Kansas City Chiefs that is without Rashee Rice, without Patrick Mahomes, without Gardner Minshew, and you only beat them by what, 6 points? So
I think they were losing at one point.
yeah, they were losing at 1.2. So just not two weeks of not great performances by this defense has me a little bit worried, or by this team in general has me a little bit worried. At one point it was, if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking at the box score, they were down 10-6, and then we're tied up again at 13-13. And yeah, a late touchdown with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter gave the Broncos a lead. But other than that, they did not play well whatsoever. So just 2 back-to-back weeks of poor performances by the Broncos drops them to number 5 for me. So that's my reasoning on this list. But what are your thoughts here, George?
I think it's a solid list. Argument to be made: Patriots can move up on Seattle. Patriots can be number 1. It's not that big of a deal, 1 and 2. Honestly, the whole list has been damn near interchangeable all year, except for the Rams, until they started collapsing a little bit.
The list is
solid list. I think these are definitely the consensus 5 teams. Any you can make an argument for any one of these teams to be up or lower, but I do think that these are a good 5 consensus teams for going into this last week of football in the regular season. So I think it's a pretty good list.
All right, there we go. All right, so that is our Power 5, and shout out to me for the bonehead mistake on the grammatical error there. We'll get that cleaned up for Week 18, that's for sure. All right, now next up we have the 2-minute warning. We don't have too many for you guys this week, but we've got some good ones for you guys. That's what matters, right? So without further ado, George, let's jump straight into the 2-minute warning. And the first question I have for you is, as a Bears fan, who would you rather face in round 1? Obviously, you kind of know if we stay at the 2 seed, we're gonna face off against Green Bay. If we lose and the Eagles win, they move up to 2. We drop down to 3. So we would be playing one of, I believe it's San Fran, Seattle, or the Rams. So who would you rather face here?
I'd rather face Green Bay, hands down. Yeah. Green Bay. They're dealing with some injuries, so that's in benefit of the Bears. Some of their better players are injured. They're divisional opponents, so it would probably mean more to beat them in the playoffs, and then you've played them twice already. You have a lot of film on them. They have a lot of film on us too. But it's a familiar opponent. You get them at home. I think it's, with the way the season is going, I think it'd be better for Bears fans and the Bears to take them out.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
I don't think our defense would be able to stop a Rams offense, especially if they get Devontae Adams back. I don't think we weren't able to stop the San Fran offense. And while I do think that Seattle has a good offense, but they're not on the caliber of the Niners or the Rams, but their defense is better than those two, I would say. Actually better than all 3 of the Green Bay, San Fran, and the Rams as of right now. Because I would probably say that the Packers would have a better defense if they had everyone healthy.
Fully healthy, yeah.
But as of right now, Seattle definitely has the better defense of these teams. So that would play a factor for the Bears. But as of right now, I think Green Bay would be the better matchup for the Bears.
Yeah, I think so too. Also too, kind of like you said, it's Green Bay. It's Green Bay. If you got a chance to play them in the playoffs, you go get that, and you go take this. This is round 3, so it's 1-1 right now. Go get that dub in the playoffs, and it just means a lot more to the organization, to the city, to the fans. So that would be my thoughts on that one too. So
plus, if you have to play Green Bay, which means you get the 2 seed, right? So if you play Green Bay and beat Green Bay, you're guaranteed another home game.
Yeah.
If you're the 3 seed and you have to play the Niners, the Rams, or Seattle, yeah, it's a home game, but they're tougher opponents. So if you do somehow squeak out a win, you're not. I don't think you're guaranteed a.
Yeah.
I don't think you're guaranteed a home.
Yeah.
You
Because
might be guaranteed another home game. I'm not sure. I doubt it.
I'm not sure because if I'm not mistaken, the NFL reseeds after the round. So I think one would play the lowest seed available, and then that means if, for example, if the Eagles are the 2 seed, that means you would play the Eagles
in Philly.
in Philly. So
Yeah. So you wouldn't be guaranteed a home game.
Yeah.
At least with
for
the 2
the second
seed, if
round.
you win, you would be guaranteed another home game.
Yeah.
You know?
So
And
I
then
would
God
prefer to
forbid
have
that first seed loses. I'm not saying we're going to the NFC Championship, but if it rolls that way and the first seed loses, technically the playoff game would be in Chicago too.
Yeah. So
for the NFC Champ, if that were to happen. But
yeah.
no, I would rather play Green Bay because I think of the 3 teams, they are the most beatable for the Bears right now.
100%. Yeah, especially with the way this defense just looked. So that's for sure. All right. The next one I've got for you, obviously I know this is something that we can't change, but what are your thoughts on teams with losing records hosting a playoff game?
I don't like it because you don't deserve it, but I get it because of how the seeding works. Like that's the reason for divisions. The division leaders are the top 4 for their conference, and then they get to host a playoff game. That's why you win a division, is to get that advantage.
Yeah.
But I just don't like it because it feels like it's not deserved.
Yeah. Like, just think about it. You're going to have a team that has 10, 11 wins, right? And they're on the road when a team that's either 7-9 or 8-9, my bad. And they're hosting a game when a team won 11 games and they have to play on the road. So it sucks, but I guess you're right. That's why you win a division, right? So you kind of get that first round advantage. But other than that, man, it's just tough. But
yeah,
nothing we could do there. But next up, despite their record at 13-3 now, do you actually fear Sean Payton's Broncos in January this playoffs?
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, I know they didn't do well in the playoffs last year against Buffalo. Bo Nix didn't have a particularly good game, but I do feel like he's gotten a lot better this year, and I do think that defense is still scary. I know they got their teeth kicked in against Jacksonville, but I still think it's a very good defense. I still think it's a top 2 defense. I think the Texans have the best defense, and the Broncos are probably the second best, followed by Seattle.
I would agree.
I do think that they should be a team to fear. I mean, because they'll have a home game, obviously, so you have to go into Denver. It's not an easy place to play. The altitude is crazy there. It's going to be cold. The defense is still scary. They get after the quarterback, and if Bo Nix can somehow play adequately like he has been, like they can win a game or 2 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think that they are a team to fear, especially with teams that like in the AFC, right? Like the Chargers, the Chargers who, I mean, they're hurt on the offensive line. It's easy to get to Herbert. The Texans, right? Their defense keeps them in games, but that offensive line is struggling. You can get to CJ Stroud. They have like in that game against LA, the Texans started off hot, 2 touchdowns within the first 5 minutes. They started off 14-0. They ended the game with 20. So the next 3 quarters, they didn't do anything,
Yeah.
Who else is in that AFC playoffs?
You got
Patriots. The Patriots, the Bills. The Bills, I mean, look, the Eagles held them to 12 points. Josh Allen didn't look too good.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a team that should be feared in the playoffs.
I would agree. Yeah. I mean, it's at the end of the day, going on the road into Denver, it's never easy. Going on the road in general, but especially Denver, and then that defense. I mean, if Bo Nix just performs at average, they should be able to get a win, So that'll be something to keep an eye on, though. Because they definitely kind of want to get their lick back after their early exit last year. Now, this one I feel like we're going to both agree on here and have universally the same answer. But what are your thoughts on resting starters in Week 18?
I don't mind it, like in situations, right? So look, let's take the Packers for example, right? They're locked into the 7th seed. If they win, they can't get seated higher, and if they lose, they're not out, right?
Yeah.
So, and for a team that's battling a lot of injuries, they need the rest. So yeah, take the week off. With a team mm, like the Rams,
Yeah.
maybe you could rest players, or the Chargers. They understand they're not gonna like they. I could see like they can if they beat Denver, they claim that division. I believe. No, am I wrong?
Who?
The Chargers, or they can't claim that division?
No,
Oh,
because
and
I
that means they
believe
won't claim it even after they went 6-0 in that division. But like this, the Chargers, right? They know they can't win the division. They
yeah,
can't get a top.
because Denver's 13-3 and the
Okay,
Chargers are 11
so
and
they
5.
know that they're going to be either the 5, 6, or 7. I think actually the Bills might be locked into the 7th seed. I'm not sure. Either way, they need to rest. They need Justin Herbert ready for the playoffs. They need to give him a week off, especially he hasn't had a week off since he came off that hand surgery. The O
Yeah.
line could use some rest there. It's already a bad O line. I don't mind it, but for teams like if they want to get a higher seed, especially if they're in the top 4 conversation, right, like the Eagles or the Bears, right, the
Yeah.
difference between a 2 or 3 seed can be a potential another home playoff game.
Yeah.
So I understand you playing your players there too. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't mind it at all, especially if it's for a reason where like you can't get seated any higher than where you already are, and you need the rest. Might as well take it.
Yeah.
It's an
I would
extra
agree.
bye. It's like a bye week for you, especially if for a team that's not going to claim the number 1 seed where you don't get a bye week. This is like an extra bye week.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. Yeah. So I mean, it's all situational. Like
Yeah.
if like you said, if a team's locked in, I get it. If they're not, you're playing for to jump up a seed or two.
Mhm.
Player starters,
Look at the
if the
Broncos, right?
game,
Right now they're
yeah,
first in the AFC, but if they lose and the Patriots or the Jags win, they could take the first seed, you know? You don't
yeah,
want that to happen. You want the home
yeah,
field advantage the whole
and you
way
want to
through.
buy,
You're
and
gonna
you
play
want to
your
buy. So,
players no
yeah,
matter
so
who you're playing against.
it's all situational, but
Yeah, all situational.
so I understand it. Now the next one I got for you is: would you rather see the Bucks or the Panthers make it into the playoffs this season?
The Panthers. I think
Yeah,
after that first 6 games, the Bucks have just been bad, abysmal to watch. The Panthers, at least, yeah, they've gone on a streak where they win, lose, but at times they've shown that they're good, and at times they show that they're bad. I think all around they have the better defense. Um, I think it's time. I think it'd be fun to see Bryce Young final in a playoff game after all the negative stuff that's been going around about him not being the guy. They shouldn't pick up his contract, the benchings and all that stuff because he wasn't performing well. I think to have a season where all that stuff happens and they can finally in playoff contention right now. I'd rather see the Panthers in there. Either
I think
either
so
one of
too.
these teams are first round exits, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
Baker hasn't they both haven't really played to playoff contention, but I'd rather see Bryce Young.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think the Bucks deserve it. That's my thing. I think the Panthers deserve it more. The Bucks with one of the biggest fall offs I've seen like in record timing. I mean, I know sometimes after a season, in the off season, you lose players, things like that, then things change. But mid season to start 5-1, and then lose 8 of your next 10 games is just incredible. It's crazy to see. So I just think that the Bucks, they just don't necessarily deserve it. So it would be nice to
And I
see a
think the
different
Panthers
team.
have beaten better teams than the Bucks. I want to say. I think the
Yeah,
only
I mean,
notable win that the Bucks have might be Seattle. I don't know
yeah,
if you want to pull up their schedule and see who they beat, but the only one I can remember is them beating Seattle, which is like their notable win. The Panthers beat the Rams and the Packers this year. Both teams that were at
yeah,
one point number
the one
when
seed.
they beat them, they were currently the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah. So
I think
looking
that's more
at
impressive.
the Bucks, their best win was yeah. They beat the Niners early in the year. Um, and then that stretch where they beat the Seahawks, then they beat the Niners. But again, that was with no Mac Jones. I mean, that was with no Brock Purdy. That was with
Kittle
no George Kittle, no Ricky Pearsall.
was
So
Warner or Bosa still playing at that time?
I think in this game, if I'm not mistaken, I think Warner got hurt this game.
Okay,
I think Bosa was already out. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was the game that Bosa, I mean, not Bosa, Fred Warner got hurt. So, um, So yeah, I mean, and this was when Baker was an MVP candidate. So yeah, since then it's been all downhill for the Bucks. So, but yeah, I definitely would like to see the Panthers in this one for sure.
Yeah.
Um, Now the next question I got for you, and I'll actually have a bonus one for you real quick. Um, but after Monday Night Football, do you still see the Rams as one of the top teams to beat in the NFC? Because
No.
they looked really bad.
I think I mean, they shouldn't have been that bad, right? They didn't have Devontae Adams, and we've seen with Devontae Adams, they hump their offense is just moving, rolling all the time, scoring all the time. I still think that even though they didn't have Adams, they still had enough to be
100%.
able to win that game with Puka, Kyron. I know Blake Corum got hurt that game. I don't know if he came back at all. I don't think he did. And they still have a good defense, I think. I don't think they're the team to beat anymore in the NFC. I think right now it's
It's got to be
you
Seattle
could
or
say
San Fran.
Seattle, but I mean, there's times where I mean, Sam Darnold didn't look good against the Panthers.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing with the Panthers defense. Like I think we're undercrediting them. Like some of the top QBs in the NFC that they played have not looked good. I mean, it was 28 touchdowns since Stafford threw his last pick, and then he goes into that game, throws 2 picks.
Yeah.
Darnold had a pick, I believe, and he had a couple of plays where there were actually almost turnovers. Like there was another pick that almost happened. I think a fumble that they ruled it wasn't a fumble because his arm came forward.
Yeah.
There was some turnover worthy plays there too. Jordan Love didn't look good against against that defense. So I think we're underselling the Panthers defense a bit.
Yeah.
But I can see Seattle, but also the Niners because yeah, their defense is giving up a lot, and they're all unhealthy there, and they're all injured. But that
They
offense
gotta
can
stop
put
that
up
off.
an insane amount of points. So
Yeah.
they can kill you in a shootout if you can put up points, and I think they're just rolling right now. So it's between those two teams. I would kind of lean towards Seattle a little bit because they have the better defense to make it a closer game. But Sam Darnold, I know he won a game against the Rams that was pretty big, but I don't think he was the reason he won that game. I think
Yeah.
that was an insane throw to Cooper Cup to end up giving them like the in the red zone for the overtime. I wouldn't trust him just yet in big games, so I would
Yeah.
lean.
Still got to show me a little bit more.
Yeah, you still got to show me a little more. So I would only give the edge to the Seahawks because of the defense, but the Niners are like just as better than than Seattle to take that lead as the team to beat.
Yeah, same here. And the last one, bonus question I got for you that I just thought of as we were doing this. Trayvon Diggs was cut today or waived, I guess. So he's going to be placed on waivers. What team do you think needs a guy like Trayvon Diggs right now as we head into the playoffs?
Niners, possibly. I mean, I don't know if he's any good anymore. I would say the Niners because they need the defensive help. Packers.
Yeah.
I know him and Micah are boys. I would say the Bears. I mean, you're not. I think you're paying like 400K for him, and there's no
Yeah.
more guaranteed money left for him to get.
Yeah.
Bears. I mean, his old DBs coach Al Harris is with us, and you know he was thriving with Al Harris. He had a Pro Bowl year with Al Harris.
Yeah.
Maybe he comes here. I don't know. I don't know
I
if any
think
team is going to
I
grab him.
saw I saw
I
on
do think
Twitter
that the
CJ
most
Gardner
desperate team
Johnson's
would be
already calling
between the
him out.
Niners or the Packers, though.
Yeah, they definitely need some corner, some defensive back help. That's for sure. But just thought about that and thought, hey, why not throw that in there real quick?
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be interesting to see where he winds up because obviously he's going to be gearing up to probably sign with a contender and help them on their playoff run. So that'll be interesting to see, and we'll talk about that
I mean, that's the
probably
NFC,
next
but
week.
AFC, maybe he goes and maybe the Patriots bring him with his brother or something like that, you know? You hear about the news about Stephon Diggs today?
There's some news about Stephon Diggs today too. So not listen,
What was it
today was not
exactly they said?
assault on a woman, I believe it was. So
This year?
yeah, like in December, early
Oh,
December. Yeah,
like this month.
yeah, like very recent. So today was not a good day for the Diggs brothers. Let me tell you that. So, but ladies and gentlemen, we are going to call that an episode. That is going to be it from us. Once again, we want to thank you all for joining us for episode 88 of the Figure Score podcast. We kept this one a little bit shorter than usual, so that's nice to see. Obviously, these episodes will probably get a little bit shorter with a lot less teams involved and little bit more focus on other topics. So be prepared for that. A little bit shorter episodes, keep you guys involved a little bit more. But let us know what you guys think about this episode in the comments below, whether that's here on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. And don't forget, guys, like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, family, coworkers, anybody who needs to be up to date on sports, because we got that content for you guys. And again, don't forget, just because the regular season of the NFL is coming to an end sooner rather than later, we still got a whole lot of playoff talk and content for you guys. So stay tuned, because we've got a whole lot, and we're very excited for this playoff run. We're going to be very, very involved in this one. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming back to the Figures of Sport podcast, and we will catch you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.